it's Peter, and welcome to a video that was supposed to be done a year ago. I started writing the script and then never finished it. It's still not done, so when we get to the parts where I didn't finish writing, I'm just gonna improvise, and I really hope you understand what I'm trying to say. There are those songs that sound weird at first when you listen to them, but when you further analyze it, you hear new things and understand more. There are those songs that you can't get out of your head and have become something you annoy your friends with. There are those songs that are considered the best by those artists. Welcome to this top 10 that won't make people as angry as they probably are with my top 10 worst list, because people can't comprehend the fact that other people exist. Like I did with the worst list, this is just my opinion, and I've put a lot of thought into this, and I've changed a lot with my opinion that I did 2 years ago or 3, I can't even remember when I did that. I also realized in my last video that I said that there were only 18 songs, and that didn't include, that was not including the remixes, but then I forgot the song Back to Ninjago. But then you have to think about how I haven't listened to any songs that are associated with the seasons, Sons of Garmadon Hunted, and then anything after that. So I don't know how many other songs there are, and I don't care about them. Just they don't exist in my mind. Without any further ado, here are the honorable mentions. Anaconda Remix. I never hated this song, even if I hated the original teaser/music video for it for some reason. I have no idea why. The main reason I like this song was how the main part of it worked so well with the opening titles, which most of the other remixes don't do, and I want to do a whole other video about that. The second one is the Temporal Whip. I did get a comment from a person who was upset that a lot of the original list was just remixes. Well, at least I didn't do that this time. I really wanted to add this one, but it didn't have a place. It was perfectly themed with time, and I think it was the only remix that was a legit remix of the original Weekend Whip. The reason I say this is because you can hear part of the instrumentals of the Weekend Whip at a slightly faster tempo towards the end of the song. And then the last one is Back to Ninjago. I won't lie that I forgot this song even existed, even though I've listened to it multiple times trying to decide where I want to put it. Of course, it will never make the actual list, but like another song on this list, not many songs that came after the Tournament of Elements were good. Was this one? Maybe. It was a nice song, at least for the honorable mentions. I don't have to give a good reason why. This might be more of an analysis of each rather than a reason why it's on this list. Thinking about it, the song needing analysis to understand more about it would further make it a better song. Number 10, Full Digital. I might have complained a lot about repetition in instrumentals that aren't dynamic. Here it actually works. And you'll notice that some things I complained about in the worst list, which I will redo with my voice, will come up a lot in the best list, but with this, it works and I can kind of justify it. This song, from what I can tell, is specifically for the episode Enter the Digiverse, which is Season 3, Episode 5. It is obvious from the first verse saying, "Into the system, strike the source where it glows, and the Digiverse is going to learn how we roll." It's not painfully obvious lines to show that that's the story it's trying to tell. Basically going into a world they know nothing about, they have a plan, just not sure how to do it, and it's difficult because all of these challenges, and we have to delete this virus because even the digital world knows something is wrong. There's a lot of repetition in binary coding, and the animators take advantage of that fact in that episode. Of course, it being an unrealistic cartoon about ninja with powers in 16 different realms and 1 million different beings, it not being numbers makes sense. Although they speak English, or maybe they don't and it's just for us to understand, they write in a different language. The point is, the song cleverly styles itself around the episode in the binary code. I may be overthinking it, but the lines "we're going full," the whole "we're going full," blah blah, on the digital part, might also be reflecting the binary code. And O could also be the ones and zeros. Either that or I'm just going crazy. And actually, I'm singing it to myself now, or at least when I was writing this script, and it kind of sounds like the robots beep boop sounds and how their vocabulary is very limited to their coding. Either that or I'm really going crazy. A difficult task while creating albums with electronic synth theme is making each one unique. Also, a lot of electronic synth music is very bad for some reason, or at least the ones I've listened to. Full Digital's instrumentals aren't boring because of how the lyrics work around them. The one part of the song that remains the most clever thing I have seen the Fold's Ninjago music do is the whole part where it's A-I-E-I-E-I-E-I-O, Ninjago. That whole part. I think it's very peaceful and calming to listen to. And if you think about it, that whole part of the song is about calming yourself down and regaining focus so you can do the task that you're trying to do. And that's, I guess, the whole point of that episode, really, or at least the ending part of it. Also, this is one of the only songs, other than After the Blackout, that I can sing on pitch, which is weird. That's not related to the analysis. Just ignore that. I think, I also know what this represents. It represents the part of the episode where Kai, Cole, Zane, and Jay are trying to get to the activation port, but the virus of the Overlord is blocking its path. They all turn gold and everything. You guys probably know that whole part. They say stop and we say go. The Overlord is putting them down and telling them they cannot do it, but the ninja find a way anyways, realizing yes, there is a way. And keep us in line and under control. It could be them physically moving to the beam of light, but it also could be them controlling their fears and what it took to make them golden during this scene. That's what I was saying before. We're gonna rise, yeah, we're gonna grow. I don't really have an analysis for this since it's obvious what they're saying. And then keep hope alive in Ninjago. I believe in the final episode, the Titanium Ninja, Season 3, Episode 8, the Overlord, now the Golden Master, says that the people of Ninjago are losing hope, and because the ninja aren't there to save them. There is strength and bravery and hope. The ninja provide that for people. I just think it's awesome that it changes to a softer verse and then goes back to its regular tempo and lyrics. Number 9, Eye of the Storm. I always had a debate with myself if this song was actually good. I have made a playlist of all of the top songs so I can further analyze them when I need something else to focus on. With Eye of the Storm, it's also for a specific episode, that being The Void, Season 3, Episode 7, and symbolizes the show as a whole and how technology was their downfall in the season. Starting off with what the Eye of the Storm is, the eye is the center, where the ninja are, and the storm is all of the difficult and hectic things going on around them. It's where the danger is, where the ninja is and the Overlord is. It's dangerous to get to them, like trying to get into the actual Eye of the Storm. The best way I can analyze this is by lines that have a deeper meaning, or how I see it. Starting off, it's we're in the eye of the storm, and then times 3. It's quiet, and with the context from the show, it's showing how empty the void is, and when the ninja are out on the rocket. Also, it's possibly a call for help since they're trapped up there, talking to Nia, Wu, Misako, and Garmadon. As the clouds start to form, danger sets. The enemy's army gets bigger, and the chaos gets worse. Though it all looks perfect, awesome, and high-tech. This is referring to Borg rebuilding Ninjago City with technology more and more people become dependent on that. Like people in our modern world, they are distracted by all of the pretty lights and have no idea that the Overlord virus is making his own plans to take over Ninjago. Relating back to the previous line, though everything seems so perfect because of technology solving their problems, an enemy is waiting to be awoken. But just like dreams, some things aren't what they seem to be. Everything is just a screen and people are easily deceived into believing any lie. Everything is too perfect. Attention all, Ninjago is under attack. With this, it's clearly one line but sung with a pause in between Ninjago and is under attack. And it makes it a little confusing who this line is to. At first I thought it was one ninja talking to another, but now I've listened to it so many times, I believe it's them talking to the people of Ninjago. Maybe it's calling them for help since they can't help the city while in space or in hiding. It's digital, turning everything red. The thread is digital, or once was, and it's changing the kind and good blue/green lights to red. So the machines turn on everyone. It's not just the Overlord being a threat, but maybe it's a metaphor for how society is just spending so much time on our devices. It's not machines taking over, but the fact that we spend so much of our life on there. Here I am analyzing a song about 2 inches pieces of plastic. That's what this entire video is about. To unlock peace, perfect balance will be the key. This could mean many different things. Perfect balance between mental, emotional, physical, and social health, perfect balance of power, perfect balance of good and evil, a balance between humans and technology. All things act in perfect harmony. Everything is working together, but obviously there's something wrong. And just like dreams, some things aren't what they seem to be. Again, too perfect. It's like an analogy. The power has lost connection. A comparison between two things, typically for the purpose of explanation or clarification. I can't figure this one out, or at least I can't figure what the analogy is supposed to be. I kind of get it, but not enough to be able to explain. This song subtly calls out society while relating to Ninjago. Now I'm curious how many people went through these and realized that. Also, this would have been a great song for possession because they call the blind man's eye, Eye of the Storm. Ah well. Number 8, The Time Is Now. This song surprised me as most, well, actually all the songs that came after Tournament of Elements were garbage. I didn't expect this one to be a gem. I ignored most of the songs after Tournament of Elements because I had low expectations then, and I still do. Of course, I had to go through and listen to all of the songs so I could re-rank these. I already knew that the majority of this list would stay the same, but I didn't expect for a new song to join it. One of my favorite things about this song is how each of the time blades are represented through both lyrics and how the song is overall put together. The forward time blade is represented by, obviously, we're speeding up. It's speeding up, going forward in time, skipping that minute. The slow motion time blade is represented directly after the line with and slowing down. The line is also sung slower, so there's that too. Later in the song, the pause time blade is represented by if you are going to stop, and the song stops for a second. In the same line, the reversal time blade is represented by a very straightforward rewind and the sound effect of rewinding a tape played here. As usual, I might be looking into things way too much, but an overall message I got from this song was that it is our generation's job to fix all of the mistakes that have been made in the past and how we need to start changing things to have a better future, which is what a lot of rebooted songs were trying to say. Fold is basically saying for us to get our shit together in a nicer, kid-friendly way, although I don't think kids listening understand that. Number 7, Spinning Out in Color. Oh boy, how is Spinning Out in Color a good song if you said the Born to Be a Ninja and We Are Ninja are very repetitive and garbage songs? Well, with those two songs, there are no reasons for them to be repetitive, where Spinning Out in Color does. As I analyzed these songs, I noticed how when you look closer, they all have similar messages, especially with the rebooted songs. It's all about growth. It's all about facing conflict head-on and growing from that and not backing down. With this song, the first verse is about how New Ninjago City has been the downfall of the people. It's eerie since the Overlord took over, and someone needs to go after them. The second verse is about them trying to fight the enemy that is technology. I am slowly appreciating Rebooted, even if it was still a mess. But you haven't even gotten to the main chorus yet! I feel like it's obvious why it works, but let's go. It represents these Spinjitzu tornadoes. They spin around and around. It's a repetitive motion. It's a musical version of this. I know I'm saying this a lot, but the music fits well with the lyrics, which fits well with the story the song is taking inspiration from, which is what all of the worst list songs failed to do. Here, they do it in a unique and creative way. You know what? These songs are better at telling the story than Rebooted told. Fight me. Number 6, The Riff Whip. I believe this song was number 10 on the original list, and the pinned comment on that video is something along the lines of, why is it number 10? It should be number 1, insert angry emojis here, and my response was, I regret having it as number 10 because it was one of my favorites. I still can't explain why this has been one of my top 3 remixes, let's put it this way. Out of the remixes that exist, only a few were actually good and matched perfectly with themes and how the opening titles were animated. The Riff Whip wasn't used in Day of the Departed, or maybe it was and I'm just deaf, but still felt like it was part of it. I am becoming more like the songs that are bad, repetitive, but I feel like I keep having to repeat myself for those who don't process these quickly. Theming and fitting with what it's based on isn't the only thing that makes it a good song, it's just the most important, which is something I think a lot of people forget when trying to defend a lot of the songs that are on the worst list. Some people are just deaf to stereotypes and don't actually listen to what the song is trying to say, which isn't that the whole point of a song? I also remember one person on the original video saying that they liked the Riff Whip as a song, but the lyrics were placed strangely. They were, and it still bothers me that they didn't stick to a full-on remix, the Rebooted remix / Anaconda remix, or a remix cover of the song, the Ghost Whip. But overall, it was a great addition to the list of remixes. Edit. I'm kind of regretting having it here. Thinking about it, I prefer the Temporal Whip here because if we're talking about perfectly themed remixes that are animated nicely with it, the Temporal Whip fits with that. But I was already set on having this here, and everything I said about the Riff Whip can be said about the Temporal Whip, so you can choose which one goes here. Number 5, the Ghost Whip. To this day, the Ghost Whip remains the best remix. Sadly, the animation to the opening titles don't really do it justice, but I guess it still works better than the mess that was Skybound's opening. It sucked. Although the music for haunted / possession type things have become limited, it's hard to get original these days, but I still love this song. Other than the original Weekend Whip, the Ghost Whip and the Pirate Whip are the only 2 remixes, I'm pretty sure, if that doesn't include the ones that come after Hands of Time, that were remix covers of the song. I think that is fitting to have one that is absolute trash and one that is absolute gold. I do not think this was the instrument that was being used here, but during some of the verses, it kind of sounds like a theremin. It was a common instrument used to create an eerie sound, and I like to associate it with ghosts. It's not as now because of similar sounds that can be created using a mixture of things, though I think it was creative for the Fold to use that idea for the Ghost Whip, as Season 5, Possession, is all about spooky ghost stuff. Also, Moro is still my favorite villain, so I'm totally not biased with this song. Number 4, Enter the Tournament. Enter the Tournament is considered one of the best songs by the Fold by the majority of the fans that I can see talk about this type of list, and I can see why. This song stayed in the same place as it did before, and that is only because of number 3 on this list. I remember when I was complaining about the songs in the worst list and how it wasn't original and just told the story of the season. Some can say that songs on this list do the same thing, and I will keep saying it. These songs do that without being so obvious. This is a weird one when it comes to me using this argument. While speech before a song, unless you're doing a song on politics or real-world issues, isn't really a good idea, I think it was a good change, especially how the audio they choose is a good segue from the beginning to the actual song. While speech before a song, unless you're doing a song on politics or real-world issues, isn't really a good idea, I think it was a good change, especially how the audio they chose is a good segue from the beginning to the actual song. The beginning is also representing the knowledge of the ninja when they go into the tournament. They think it's just, in Jay's words, an underground fight club that is all fun and games. Even when Chen introduces himself, he pretends he is going to kill everyone or they're all gonna die. Garmadon does his whole theatrics line. The song represents this kind of false sense of security, with the last and hopefully not least, no eating the merchandise. Then it goes into the first verse, representing how the ninja are being called to the tournament, that it all seems like it is, and I think it was a smart choice to include Garmadon in this, as he never really felt all that important, or at least the show never treated him like he really mattered to the plot. I think they tried, but it didn't really work in Rebooted. Sidetrack here. If Garmadon wasn't with Lloyd during his travel, I swear it would have gone a similar way. Sidetrack again, I think Rebooted is the only season other than 1 and 2 that actually developed Lloyd's character. But me ranting about why Lloyd sucks is for another video. Please don't attack me for shy, I really value your friendship. The lyrics of the chorus, I'm a little sad, wasn't longer, as the song is great, are also really good when telling the story. Don't let them take what makes you whole can mean a few different things. On the surface, it could be talking about their elemental power, as that's something very close to all the fighters and the ninja. They see that as something very important to their identity, which they missed out on a very great opportunity for the ninja to think that they are nothing or think less of themselves because of their lack of power when they get it taken away from them. Season 2, Episode 1 Kai said he felt hopeless and useless and did not like not having his power, which was connected to their, golden weapons at the time. The line can also mean, don't let them take your friendship, which is pretty big in this season, especially between Jay and Cole. Don't let them take your hope that you cannot win or can't escape. I know this show tried before to teach lessons to kids. Make your enemy your friend is great, but we can just ignore that. But I think this season, even this song, is probably the best when it comes to lessons. Well, the plot in Garmadon, I should say. I want him to be my teacher. Or friends, please. I want to know him. Round for round, the truth unfolds. For everything is really suspicious, and this isn't right. That's what that line's trying to say. Tournament of Elements, it's just a show. Like the Hunger Games, it was always just for the viewers, never the players. They didn't care about the players. If something gets boring, they change it to make it more interesting. Am I comparing a TV show about 2-inch pieces of plastic to a book and movie series about teens killing each other? Yes, I am. The next verse is basically, we have an alliance, we know something's wrong, and they don't say there's a spy or traitor, but rather a wolf mix amongst the fold leading us like pawns, which always makes me laugh because the fold. Is it paws or pawns? It's pawns. And like pawns in a chess game, they are easily disposable and you don't really need them. And this is meeting Skylar in a very clever way. We will get to how the show was shit to her later in another video. And the instrumentals. Remember how I complained if you listen to We Are Ninja's instrumentals, you cannot tell when a part stops and starts, specifically in the beginning? With Enter the Tournament, if you ignore the backup vocals, this song works with the lyrics, not in a way where it's just the song with no words, but just listen right here. This is a good example of a song retelling the season without you really thinking about it. I may be a little hypocritical when it comes to the second best song, but we'll get there. We're getting there. Number 3, The Weekend Whip, the original. Now this is the part where I didn't finish writing the script, but I feel like I don't really need to explain this one. I remember reading the comments, someone got really mad and was like, why is The Weekend Whip only an honorable mention? Why is it number 1? Why is it not, like, in the top 3? I'm sorry. Maybe at the time I didn't really like it because compared to, like, all the other ones, I just liked them better. I think this is here now just because of nostalgia. And I think it's perfect. I'm sorry that, like, I can't defend the top 3 songs, but I'm sorry, this is really short. Number 2, Day of the Departed. This is what I meant by me being hypocritical about a song that retells the season that it's based on. It's not a season or an episode, but just like a movie, two episodes into one, whatever, we can call it something. It'll be called a 45-minute movie, that's what it is. This is something that I can't explain, and I don't think anyone will understand why I put it here. I think I will eventually probably put in the description or the comments why it's here. I just want to get this out and not finish writing the script, you know? I'm lazy. We already knew this. It took a year for this to come out. And let me just say one thing about Day of the Departed, not the song, but the episode. It did Cole dirty, and it did Maura dirty. They could have done better, and, I mean, it wasn't great, but hey, the song I think was good. I'll explain later. Number 1, After the Blackout. After the Blackout has remained my number 1 favorite song that the Fold has done for Ninjago. And I think that it's similar to what makes the rebooted songs really good, with the exception of We Are Ninja. It retells the season or the episode that it's based on, but just in a clever way. This one is for, I think, like episode 3 through, I guess, the rest of it. It's about after the blackout, after everything goes down, there is no hope. It seems like they've lost. And within that darkness, there's that light. The ninja are coming, because it's lyrics, you know? It's very hard when I cannot remember the lyrics off the top of my head when I'm talking, but can do it when I'm singing. Then the lights came on brighter than ever before. I think that doesn't necessarily mean, like, actual light, but the ninja, like I said. They are the light. They are coming stronger than they were before to defeat the darkness, to bring up the lights, the both actual lights and the hope, and all of that fun stuff. This is also a song I think I can explain more about in the comments, because I probably have to sit down with the lyrics and type out my explanation. But I don't think any song is going to steal number 1 at all. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, or at least got something out of it and understood why I put songs where I did. You don't have to agree with me, you don't have to like my list. I'm not trying to change your opinion. I do not think some of these songs are my favorites, like The Weekend Whip. It's not really one of my favorites, but I think it's very, like, clever and just nostalgia reasons. And some of the rebooted songs aren't really my favorites either, but I think they're just really clever. If you have any suggestions for other top 10 lists or worst lists, please tell me in the comments. I'm going to try to get the updated worst songs list, but I don't think I'm actually going to redo that one. Whatever the next video is going to be posted. In the meantime, like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.